So for today's science lesson, we'll be learning on how does adaptive variation lead to the survival of an organism or a species. For example, how is Kelvin Constantine different from everybody else in Waterworld? He has webbed feet and gills, which is an example of adaptive variation. Variation. What is variation? Variation is differences in structure and or behavior within a population. As you can see in this picture, everyone has either different hair, different clothes, or different eye colors. What produces variation? Reproduction, the recombination of genes, and meiosis, and crossing over of different genes. What produces variations? Independent assortment, different gametes made by one parent. And another way is by mutations. On the bottom picture here, you can see incoming UV photon damaging the DNA, which causes mutations in the variations. Why are variations important to a population? Variation in a species increases the chance that some members will survive a significant change in the environment. Why is this important? Over here you can see two moths of the same species. One is light speckled pepper moth and another is a dark mutant variety, which is very rare. Adaptation, a variation that allows an organism to survive in its environment. Polar bears' adaptations. They can blend into the snow with their white fur. They have very thick layers of fur to keep them warm. They have blubber fat, which is fat under the skin that keeps them warm. They have very long claws to cling onto the ice. Adaptive variation. Variation, a trait that you're born with that allows you to survive a changing environment. Types of environmental changes. There's climate, food sources and the availability of these food sources, predators, available oxygen, such as in ponds, lakes, bays, and rivers, habitat, what would happen to a population if the environment changed. Those who had an adaptive variation would survive and reproduce. This may lead to evolution. What would happen to a population that did not have any variation? If they don't possess a trait that allows them to adapt to a changing environment, they will decrease in population. More will die, also reproduce less, which may lead to extinction, which is the complete wipe out of a species. How does this affect evolution? Evolution defined as the process by which species change over time. Present-day species are related to ancient species. Summary questions. What are the two driving forces behind evolution? Reproductive variation and environment. How do variations in traits within a species occur? Reproduction and genetic mutations. In your own words, define what an adaptive variation is. The diagram below represents a woolly mammoth, a relative of the modern elephant. Woolly mammoths lived during the Ice Age and eventually became extinct. State one possible reason this species died out. So, in this final example, one of the possible examples is that the woolly mammoths did not have any variation in their species. So let's say the climate changed and the heat rose, and none of them had the special ability or lighter fur to keep them cool. They all died out. There's also controversial hunting or climate changes. That's what happened to its ancestor, the southern mammoth. That will be all for today.